Okay, all right, we are live on YouTube, and today I'm going to be discussing, ladies, what part of being feminine don't you understand? I'm going to be discussing the power struggle between men and women, particularly masculine versus feminine energy. So stick around for all that and much, much more that's coming right live from Northern California. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And after you bang that bell, when that pop-up box pops up, make sure you select all notifications, because that way you won't miss a single thing. You will not miss anything, and I mean anything, when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And also make sure on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android, or anywhere that you have the YouTube app installed on, you must also make sure that the YouTube app is set to receive those notifications at a device level. You do all of that, you'll get a real, genuine round of applause from the heart, and you will also get a big, huge digital round of applause. Gotta love the digital round of applause as well. We're in the modern world, right? Well, you know, we've got the modern way of dating with modern women that have been liberated. So, you know what? We're not just going to give you a real round of applause. We'll give you a digital round of applause. Yeah. Oh, my. I've got to say, folks, as much as I really enjoy discussing this topic regarding, the modern world of dating, and regarding, women in the modern world, women being liberated, women exuding more masculine energy nowadays and feminine energy. I really wish I didn't have to discuss this topic, because it just breaks my heart to see the way things have gone. And like I've mentioned in the past, to start off this show, I'm very happy that women have equal rights. I'm very happy that women have been liberated. I'm very happy that women are in the workforce, and, they're accomplishing things nowadays that they never had the opportunities to accomplish in the past. But what I feel most men, and especially women, don't understand nowadays is how much it affects relationships between men and women, how much it affects the real true purpose of life, which in my opinion is to meet someone special, fall in love, cohabitate, live together, get married, procreate, have a family, and live happily ever after. But whatever happened to happily ever after? Today we're going to discuss that. Today I'm going to be talking about, women that, are exuding more masculine energy than feminine energy, and they're wondering why, they can't find that special man. They're wondering why their relationships fail. I've talked about this time and time again, but today I felt the need to discuss it again, because just as recent as last night, I was getting to know another woman, and, obviously, if you've been following me, you know that I've been on online dating, and I've been looking to find that one special lady, and I've shared some of my experiences. But last night, I had another experience with a woman that appeared to be decent, but because of some things that happened and the way that she reacted to certain questions I asked her, I'm not going to be pursuing getting to know her anymore. So I'm going to share that story here at the beginning in just a few minutes, and then I'm going to actually get into a blog that was written by a woman named Dana Prophet, Prophet. And this is coming from the site womenforone.com. Womenforone.com. So it's a blog site cater, primarily to women. But let me tell you something. As a man, if I want to learn more about, what women are saying and how they're feeling about certain things, I'm going to go to their forums and learn as much as possible, right? And then share that with each and every one of you, dissect it, and make a lot of sense out of it, and see if we can change it for the better, right? So stick around for that. That blog is going to be coming very, very soon. Hey, Super Steph is in the house. How you doing, Super Steph? Let me see. Let's get to the chat here. But first, let me make sure that the notification has gone out. It has gone out. And let me also make sure that the stream status is good. It definitely is. All right, let me get the chat here real quick. Oh, Queen, you changed your profile picture for your YouTube channel. It looks like I can barely see it here. It's kind of tiny, but is that an eagle with the American flag? Pretty nice there, Queen. All right, Mutt Nuts World's in the house. She says, "Hey, Eli and everyone." Hey, Mutt, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Queen Helen Casey is here. Hello, Eli. Smash the like button for Eli. Thank you, Queen. Hello, Mutt, says Queen. Mutt Nuts Reviews says, "Hey, Queen." And then we have Mutt Nuts World saying, "Hey, Steph, sissy." That's awesome. It's great to see you here, Steph. Give me just 1 second. And Super Steph says, "Hey, Mutt." Queen Ellen Casey says, "Yes, I did. Yes, American Eagle. Yes, you gotta love that American Eagle. The bald eagle, right, Queen? Gotta love that. Very, very symbolic of our wonderful country here and where we live in the U.S. of A., the good old United States of America." All right. So I'm going to get right to this, folks, because I want to try to keep this as short as possible so as many people as possible can check this out. But the topic of today's show is, ladies, what part of being feminine don't you understand? Masculine and feminine energy struggle. One more time. What part, or ladies, what part of being feminine don't you understand? Masculine and feminine energy struggle. Now, I want to make it very clear at the beginning of this show, as I always do when I discuss topics that are primarily catered to my thoughts about the modern day woman, how she's living her life, how modern day women are dating and approaching dating, and my experiences regarding, dealing with the modern day woman. I'm not here to bash women. I love women. I respect women. I respect people. I respect anyone, whether they're male or female, whether they're gay, straight, lesbian, bi, trans. I love everyone equally as long as you're a good, down-to-earth, civil human being. I treat people the way that they treat me. I treat people the way that I would want to be treated. And if you treat me nice, I'll treat you nice. If you don't treat me nice, you attack me, I'm not going to attack you back. I'm just going to ignore you and move forward. But again, I want to make it very clear that I'm not here to bash women. I'm not here to bash, women's lib or feminism or anything like that. I'm here to share my experiences and let you guys out there know that if you've experienced some of these things, which I'm sure you have, that you are not alone. And I'm also here to share, what, if anything, can you do to overcome this, to actually find that one special woman, which is very, very difficult to find nowadays, no matter how decent of a guy you are. So I just wanted to throw out my disclaimer there. Again, I'm not here to attack anyone, male or female. I'm just here to state what's really going on. And ladies, if you actually listen to this, and if you're able to turn the emotion off for a little bit and not overreact to it, you're going to end up learning, why men are not giving you a chance. Why men are dismissing you, and, why you're single. I mean, this is the honest truth. This is going to be the honest truth here. So let me start off by stating a story that I experienced last night. I've shared a few stories over some past streams that I've done over the last month regarding a similar topic like this. If you want to go scroll back through my previous streams and videos, you can find those and watch them on your own time. But I've had 2 other previous experiences like this, which is why I wanted to share this and then, do this topic here today. But I've been talking with this woman through a dating app, and she seemed pretty decent. She's been very communicative. She has a very well-written profile. She's gone to college, gotten a degree. She's working a job that she loves based on her degree. She's smiling in her pictures. She's 36 years old, and she's cute, but seems to have a great personality. Her profile was not a short profile. It was written in great detail. The grammar and spelling was on point. Like, this was a almost too good to be true, perfectly written profile, right? And so I decided to send her a message and told her I like your profile. It's very similar to mine. Please check mine out. If you're interested in getting to know each other, get back to me. A few days later, she got back to me and she was interested. And we ended up exchanging phone numbers. And we were supposed to actually talk a few nights ago at 8:30. This was a couple nights ago. But what happened? I was, after I finished the live stream and I was just kicking back on my couch, I ended up taking a little bit of a nap and I overslept. And then by the time I got back to her a few hours later, she had already gone to bed. So I left her a text message. She got back to me the next morning. She said, no problem. I understand these things happen. Let's try to talk again tonight. I'm like, okay, great. This woman is very communicative. This is exactly what I'm looking for in a woman. On top of everything else that I've read about her on her profile and sending a few messages through the dating app, and then through some text messages, wow, I'm like blown away at her communication style. This should go pretty smoothly. But again, I never expect anything. And I'm the type of person, I think everybody can be this way. I'm the type of person that feels if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And going into this phone conversation that ended up happening last night at 8:30 my time, Pacific time, 8:30 p.m., I was thinking to myself, okay, if this woman is 36 years old, she's still young, she's still at an age where she can have children, she's cute, she's got a degree, got a great job, got a house, has everything going for her. If she is this person, then why in the world is she single, right? And she had even told me through texting that she's been single for 5 years. She hasn't had a serious relationship in 5 years. I'm like, wow. So a 36-year-old woman that has presented herself in a way that to me appears great has been single for 5 years. And so, I wasn't trying to be judgmental or anything. I was going into it, just, seeing what was going to happen. But that was a red flag to me. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why in the world, if this woman is so amazing and appears so amazing, why has she been single for the last 5 years when she says, I'm looking for the right guy? So let's get to the phone conversation. Let me share with you what happened. So I called her right at 8:30 last night. And when she picked up the phone, she said, hi, how you doing? Hey, she was like really loud and energetic, but it wasn't the tone of voice that I would typically expect to hear from a woman that's calm and has that sweet type of nurturing attitude and personality. It was more of the dominant, I'm going to wear the pants type of woman voice. And, I've been through so many of these phone calls and I've talked to so many women that I could pretty much tell right off the bat from the initial, thing they say when we first start talking, what type of woman they are, right? And how more than likely this conversation is going to go. I'm actually that intuitive. So anyway, give me a second here. Hey, Darren, a.k.a. MGTOW's the only way to live. I'm feeling a lot better, bro. recovering every day, walking around a lot better. I'm able to walk a lot easier now. I mean, I'm not fully recovered yet, bro, but I'll tell you, I feel a lot better. How about yourself? How have things been going for you? You getting any better, bro? Let me know, man, when you get a chance. So I said to her, I said, wow, you got a lot of energy like myself. You know, you have a lot of energy like me. She goes, yeah, oh yeah. And she goes, that's what I like about you too. You have a lot of energy, Eli. All right, great. Let's get to know each other. Okay, so, you know, we started talking and I started asking her some questions. And I said, hey, you know, if I'm asking too many questions, let me know. I don't want you to think I'm trying to play 20 questions. I took a different approach with this one because other women where I've asked them questions to get to know them, they call me out and they'll say, what is this, 20 questions? What is this, an interview? Well, it is a damn interview. And if you're not willing to answer my questions, then you're eliminated. But I wanted to be proactive and say, hey, you know, I really want to get to know you. You seem great. You know, you don't want your time wasted. Neither do I. Do you mind if I ask you some questions if they're too personal or you don't feel like answering them? You know, just let me know. She goes, I'm an open book. Ask anything, whatever you want to know. Okay. So I asked her, I said, well, you had mentioned to me in a text, you know, you've been single for the last 5 years. You know, you seem to be a great catch. Why have you been single for the last 5 years? And she goes, well, I just haven't found the right guy. I said, have you been dating and stuff? She goes, yeah, I've gone on some dates and, you know, I've gone out with some guys for like a couple dates and, you know, for a couple of weeks, you know, here and there. But, you know, nothing really came out of it. Nothing did come out of it. I'm like, okay. I mean, 5 years is a long time. She goes, well, don't get me wrong. You know, I have a friend of mine that I hang out with every now and then. And, you know, we all have needs and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I get that. So in essence, what she was telling me is that she has a hookup buddy. She has an F buddy. I don't want to, you know, say that, and I don't want to get this video demonetized, but she has an F buddy, basically. And listen, there are people out there that do have hookup buddies until they find the right person. And I'm not saying there's a problem with that, but I really didn't want to hear that during a first conversation. Like, I don't want to know that you still have some dude lurking around that, you know, that you have sex with every now and then. And now you want to get to know me for the right reasons. I mean, you know, how do I not know if we get together and start dating that this guy's not going to try to, you know, get with you on the side and tell you to keep it quiet? And how do I not know that you're, you know, you're going to be faithful, right? So I really didn't want to hear that. That kind of was a pretty negative thing there for me. Now, let me read the chat real quick. Good. I'm still in hell, says MGTOW's the only way to live. Seeing the doctor tomorrow for MRI. I will document it for educational purposes. Well, yeah, bro, I'll check out your channel. I've been watching your stuff, man. You know, keep up the fight, bro. I don't know. Maybe you're just one of those few people that are not going to be able to heal from whatever you have, a bulging disc, you know, pinched nerve. The pinched nerve is typically caused by a bulging disc. And typically it'll heal on its own over a few months or so. But if it's been a couple of years for you, Darren, a.k.a. MGTOW's the only way to live, yeah, you got to get to a doctor, man, and get this taken care of as soon as possible, because the longer you don't deal with it, it could become permanent, bro. And I'm hoping it hasn't become permanent for you. So my best to you on that, bro. Now, another thing that this woman mentioned, she goes, well, another reason why I'm single is because, you know, a lot of the guys that I go out with, they bore me. They just bore me. And I'm like, I can understand that. I said, okay, well, what do you mean they bore you? Do they not take you to, you know, decent places? Do they not, you know, come up with good date ideas? Well, she's like, well, you know, they can't even make a decision on, you know, where to meet for the first time, such as, you know, going to dinner or something. So I typically end up suggesting to meet at the local diner in my hometown, in my area here. It's a pretty intimate diner, and we have a conversation. If it works, you know, we continue seeing each other. If not, we don't. And after she had told me that, and hearing her tone of voice, and And she kept cutting me off. Now, I know a lot of women are like that. A lot of women like to jump in and interrupt a guy they're talking with. It's kind of normal to a certain extent, but some women do it more than others. And this one was jumping in and cutting me off rather frequently, right? So between that and her telling me she gets bored very easily, I was like really super turned off by that point. Now, I did continue the conversation for a little while longer. There was one more noteworthy thing I want to mention regarding this story. And this is what really just, put the nail in the coffin for her regarding me even wanting to get to know her anymore. She was interested in me. I believe she's still interested in me until to this point, which is what I'm trying to say. But I'm definitely not interested in her at all. And this was regarding the fact that, she didn't want kids. And it wasn't the fact alone she didn't want kids. Let me tell you the story, and I'll tell you what made me just totally not want to talk with her anymore. So she had put on her profile, I'm not looking to have any kids. And I had texted her, a few things when we were texting before we talked on the phone. And she had told me that she just never had the desire to have children. I mean, she loves seeing children with other people. She just couldn't picture herself, being pregnant and having a kid in her stomach, yada, yada, yada. I can understand that. Some women just don't want kids. But this woman here, I asked her, I said, when did you come to terms with not wanting kids? She goes, well, I've come to terms with that pretty much my entire life. I'm like, you just figured you didn't want kids? That's a pretty natural thing that, women want. That's part of their biology. It's just a normal feeling to have. Well, I never really, felt that. And when I turned 28 years old, I got my tubes tied. I'm like, hold on. So did you just say you got your tubes tied at 28 years old? She goes, yeah. Is there anything wrong with that? I said, well, technically not, but typically doctors won't typically allow women, or they'll make it difficult for a woman in her 20s to tie her tubes. Because once you do it, sometimes it can be reversible, but other times it's not reversible, and it's a life-changing choice, especially when there are other forms of birth control out there, such as the IUD and the Depo-Provera shot and many other things. There's also condoms, but we all know that most people in a relationship, they trust each other, they don't like condoms, and condoms can rip and stuff like that. So even if you're using condoms, it's always good to have a backup birth control method. So she goes, I just knew at that point I didn't want to have kids. I told my doctor, I said, you know what? Like, I just can't sit there and see myself. She said something very derogatory about kids, kind of in a joking manner. I'm not going to mention it here and get this video demonetized. But basically, after she had told me, she said that to the doctor said, okay, when do you want to schedule the appointment? So this woman got tubal ligation, got her tubes tied at age 28. So, after hearing that, I'm like, does this woman really appreciate being feminine, or does she wish she was a man? And I'm not saying that to be rude, because part of the natural biology of being a woman is a motherly instinct, a nurturing motherly instinct. And at one point or another, even for women that have changed their minds about having kids in their 30s or late 30s or early 40s or whenever, right? At one point or another, every normal woman has always thought about what it would be like to have children and has pictured themselves having children. I just did not think this was normal. I did not think this was totally normal. Queen, just to let you know, we might get some new people coming to the chat today. Just be real careful. Don't ban anyone by mistake. There may be some new people coming here. Hey, Colin, welcome to the show, bro. Thank you so much for being here. Blessings, my guy. Thumbs up. Hey, Become You today. Thank you for being here. And let me just check you out real quick. Give me 1 second here. Let me see real quick. Yeah, we recently connected, bro. Thank you so much for being here, man. Much appreciated. So become you today is good. Queen. Let's see who else is here right now. Collins Trivia, especially if you got big one and get a small condom, LOL, then it will rip, LOL. Well, no one really likes using condoms, bro. But sometimes you got to use them, especially when you're first meeting someone. But, condom or not, you should always, as a woman, until you're ready to have kids with someone, you should always have a backup method of birth control. That's just my opinion there. Evangelia Mitzai. Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. What's been going on? You're still a mod here. Glad to see you're around. Hi, Elias. Elias, my Greek name. That woman was the definition of an empowered, strong feminist. You're right. You're right. I was just going to get there, but you're right. Now, I was not going to tell her that on the phone last night, Evangelia. But I basically ended the conversation. I said, okay, I'm going to let you get going. I know you're probably tired after working a long day. And then she had told me, she goes, I'm going to go check out your profile again and see if I have any other questions. And, I'll get back to you. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, she's never going to call me back again. Or she'll either text me back saying she's not interested or I'll never hear from her again. Because there's no woman that's going to say, I'm going to go back and check out your profile and look at your profile more closely. She's already done that. That's just her way out, right? And I think she realized that I'm the type of guy that is not going to be with a woman that wants to wear the pants. Now, it's not about me wanting to wear the pants all the time, but I'm a man and you're a woman and I'm masculine and you're feminine. And if you're going to try to behave like a man, that's not going to work for me. Now, you can do whatever you want to do. It's a free world. You're liberated. If you want to go out there and wear the pants, and if you want to go out there and wish you were a man and behave like a man when you're biologically a woman, then that's on you. Another thing, Evangelia, I'll tell you this in a second. It was interesting. She basically doesn't need a man. On one hand, I admire her. On the other hand, she will probably be alone. Guys are the same. Well, yeah, Evangelia, the thing is, she says she wants a relationship. She really wants one. She even told me, she's willing to give up her career and move for the right man. And I told her, I said, listen, I would never ask you to give up your career for me. If things were going to work out between you and I said, I would find a way to incorporate both of our careers and make it work without either one of us having to give up anything. The right man's going to accept you for who you are in your career and not force you to, move somewhere or do something that you really don't want to do. Like it was really weird that she even said, I'm willing to give up my career, for the right man. Just another red flag. Another red flag. I mean, I just I didn't understand that. And another thing, she had told me that she's bisexual. She didn't mention that in her profile. And she goes, she used to have crushes on women in high school, but she hasn't, I guess, done anything with a woman for a while. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, her profile was so well and professionally written. But when I talked with her on the phone, I was like, wow. Next. Like she's a beautiful woman. She's cute and she's educated and she speaks proper English. The problem is she has that very stern, masculine sounding voice as a woman, which turns me off. And also the things that she told me, she even said, she goes, oh, I smoke weed. Do you have a problem with me smoking weed? I'm like, well, it's legal here in California now. That's totally on you. But at the same time, I was thinking in my head, why didn't she mention all these things in her profile? Like her profile was so detailed, but what she did was she left the things out that she knew would immediately eliminate her. So, in essence, she was catfishing. She was catfishing me, catfishing people. Not catfishing with her pictures, but leaving out stuff that she knew would more than likely eliminate her because other guys have eliminated her for the same thing. Let's see. Queen Helen Casey, I got you. Become you today, says at Evangelia. That's true. Hey, I'm fine, says Evangelia. That's great to hear. And Evangelia says that's BS. Well, yeah. And then Evangelia furthermore says your values don't align in so many levels. Well, I agree with that, but it took that phone call, which was only an hour long. Thank God I didn't invest any more time in her. But it took that phone call to figure that out. Because again, Evangelia, people can write a great people can write a great profile. They can put their best pictures out there. They can make themselves appear to be whatever they want to be. But then when you talk with them on the phone, right? You know, that's a whole new ballgame. That's why I will never meet anybody from online until I talk with them on the phone and they answer my questions. If they're not willing to answer my questions to allow me to get to know them before I even waste my time to drive out and meet them, then I don't meet them. I eliminate them and I'm gone. And that's what I'm trying to teach, other, guys and gals out here. Do a better job of qualifying people before you invest too much time to meet them. Okay? Ask a lot of questions. And if they're not willing to answer questions to allow you to get to know them, you just got to move forward at that point. You've just got to move forward. Collins Trivia says, some women like doing many things like DIY, get dirty, work in garages. The list can go on. I would date a woman local to me if they want to change the job. It's up to them. See, Colin, I don't have a problem with a woman being a tom. They call those women tomboys. I'm very attracted to tomboys. I don't have a problem with a woman doing things that were once only known as things that men would do, right? As long as when they're around me, they can be feminine and not feel like they want to wear the pants. If a woman ever tries to one-up me by wearing the pants, it's over. Like, I'm a man. I'm not going to be dominated all the time by a woman. Okay? Every now and then, 20, 30% of the time, if she wants to wear the pants and be dominant, that can be a little fun. But for the most part, that is not part of feminine energy. Masculine energy is the dominant energy, right? That's just the way it is. That's the way we were biologically made to be. So again, Colin, nothing wrong with women wanting to get their hands dirty and work on cars or do other things that were once only known as things that men would do. As long as when it comes time to the relationship, they can be a feminine woman and not try to one up the man all the time, not try to wear the pants, Like, what I love about women the most, Colin and everyone else, is that sweet, loving, nurturing voice. You can tell a lot about how a woman is by her tone of voice. If she has that rough, manly, masculine sounding voice, but she's cute and sexy, I would not be with a woman like that. That's not attractive to me. It's not. Because along with that rough masculine voice is going to be a woman that's going to want to be controlling and is going to want to dominate the relationship and wear the pants. That doesn't work for me. Now, if there are women that, want to find men that works on, then go find some beta males out there that are going to behave more feminine to balance out the fact that you want to behave more masculine. But even if you are able to successfully be with a beta male and dominate them for a while, after a while, you're going to break up with them because you're going to lose respect, for those types of men because they're not man enough for you, right? So what's it going to be, right? And you're right, Evangelia. That's exactly what, the feminist movement has done and women being liberated has done. Like, no disrespect. I love women. I'm happy that women are empowered and they've been liberated. But that wasn't enough. Now, women want to control the relationships. They want to dominate their relationships. They don't want to be women anymore. And quite frankly, a good, strong alpha male like myself has always been attracted to a woman for being feminine. I'm not attracted to masculine women. So anyway, so yeah, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right from the moment I started to talk with her, the way she approached me with that rough masculine tone of voice. But, I gave it a chance. I didn't want to be judgmental. I was like, okay, let's let this go on a little bit longer and see if it turns around, see if she calms down, see if she shows any of her feminine side, right? And she never did that. She never showed any of her feminine side. Every time she answered a question, it came with a rough tone of voice. And it basically felt like I was talking to a man. That's how it felt. It just felt horrible. Plus, whenever I'm talking to women like this and I know it's not going to work, I try to extract as much information from them as possible. I ask them questions because I'm thinking ahead that I'm going to do a show on this and talk about it. So I want to get as much information as possible. And that way, compare it to other women that I've talked to recently with a similar outcome. And also, that way you guys out there that are experiencing similar things with women out there can compare it to what I'm going through. A lot of guys don't come out here and talk about these situations. You don't hear a lot about, these phone calls and meeting women online and how it goes. We need more guys and gals to come out here on a platform like YouTube and share your experiences so we can all learn from them. Collins Trivia says, I don't mind what they sound like as long as they can be feminine after work and have the trousers on every so often. I'm game. Colin, I understand that. But a big part of a woman being feminine and turning me on is having that feminine voice. Like Colin, let me ask you this, bro. If you had a sexy woman that wanted to date you, came up to you and said, hey, Colin, come over here and kiss me, you big boy. Right? Would that turn you on, Colin? I'm serious, dude. I'll ask you a question. Or would it be, hey, Colin, come over here and kiss me, you big boy, right? There's a difference, bro, right? That tone of voice has always been the thing that's turned me on the most about a woman. It's that sensual, sweet, nurturing, tone of voice that's open to receive my love. When it's, hello, Colin, come over here and give me a hug and give me a kiss, right? What's that going to do, bro? Seriously. What is that going to do? Queen Helen Casey, I have always been a tomboy. That's great, Queen, because I've dated pretty much all my exes have been tomboys. Including my ex Dana and even the one before that and the one before that. Like, I've dated some very beautiful women that are very feminine, but they're also tomboys, right? So they're what I like about tomboys is, for the most part, they are feminine women. They're happy being a woman, and they have that sweet voice, and they're very nurturing, but they're also not afraid to get their hands dirty and do the things that, were things that were known as, only men would do at one point in the past. So that's not a problem there. No problem. Collins Trivia says, and if they have a coin slot at the front, I'm happy. I'm okay. Also fine with tomboy females. Coin slot. Okay. All right. I'm not sure what you mean by that, bro, but it's all good. Evangelia says, women have become a bit rough because if they are sweet and loving, they are not taken seriously always. Not only in relationships, but also at work. So what do you suggest, Evangelia, that women do that want to be in a loving, caring relationship? If they're acting too masculine and have that rough voice and too dominant, like they want to wear the pants, It's not going to work with a guy like me or most guys that are decent enough guys to date, right? But then they're afraid to be feminine, which would attract men like me and the good men because they're afraid of being stepped on by the bad men, right? So, I mean, what's it going to be? You know, I mean, obviously, look, this woman has been single for 5 years and hooking up with a guy friend every now and then to, you know, I guess have her needs filled in the meantime or fulfilled in the meantime, right? But for when a 36-year-old woman is telling me, I'm looking for true love and want to get married and live happily ever after, but hasn't, you know, been able to find anyone in 5 years when she's actually good looking, takes care of herself, has a good job, a degree, can spell, read, and write. When everything looks good, all right, and sounds good, why is she not attracting men? It's because of the same reason why I've eliminated her. And I realized this when I was talking with her, but, you know, I did tell her one thing. I said, here's one thing I think is repelling guys about you. I told her, I said, you don't intimidate me, but I said, do you feel you come off pretty intimidating to guys? She goes, oh yeah. I said, okay. Now, you're not intimidating me, but I can see how you would intimidate other guys. Now, she did not intimidate me because I know that I knew once I figured that out about her, I was not even going to give her a second phone call. Once that call ended, it was over. So I was not intimidated by her. I was turned off by her because she wasn't the person I thought she was. I was turned off by the fact that, you know, she feels the need to be so strong and so forward and have a rough masculine voice and act more like a man than be a sweet, nurturing, loving woman. And she's not realizing that that is what her demise is. Maybe one day she'll figure it out. Yeah, and in the workplace, Evangelia, women have to exude more masculine energy in the workplace. They have to. Most jobs that women do nowadays were once jobs that only men would do. And it requires them to be a little bit more, exude more masculine energy. But what women have to learn, like I mentioned in the past, Evangelia, is they have to balance that out. They go to work, they do their job. If they have to be a little rough around the edges there to take care of an employee or whatever, if they're a manager and they have to lay down the law, that's one thing. But if you're going to come home to me and you're going to try to boss me around and try to wear the pants and try to be the man in the relationship with me when you're the woman, that's not going to work for me. You gotta balance it out, and that's part of the problem nowadays. A lot of women don't know how to balance it out. Give me 1 second here. I want to check something out real quick. Okay. I can't check it out, actually. Okay, not a big deal. Collins Trivia says, I'm serious. If they had trouble with their voice box or throat cancer, I would not mind. Well, Colin, there's a difference if a woman sounds more raspy because of an illness or a sickness, Colin. All right? But if that's just the way she's behaving, fully healthy, I'm not going to put up with that. There's a difference, brother. And their behavior is going to show you how feminine they are. Even if they have a masculine sounding voice due to an illness or sickness or something, their behavior would still show you they're more feminine. This woman not only had a masculine sounding voice, but her behavior was acting more masculine than feminine. There's a difference, bro, but I get that. But if they have a sweet and sexy voice, I go weak at the knees and get turned on Of course, bro. I was just saying that, bro. That's what turns me on about a woman, man. Is that sweet, feminine sounding voice. Now you get it, brother, right? Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on, brother. Evangelia, a balance. Assertive, but at the same time feminine. If she doesn't know you, she can't be all loving. Maybe guys find her naive and a doormat. Evangelia, I can tell that you've been through some situations like this, right? You can't go into every relationship assuming that a man's going to take advantage of you. You got to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and allow yourself to be vulnerable to be able to get to know that person, let them get to know you. You can't be guarded based on what's happened in the past. And no disrespect. I have a lot of respect for you, Evangeline. I think you're an awesome person, but I think you've been through so much that you're a little guarded, which I can understand that. So I understand where you're coming from. Totally, totally fine. But if you're going to put yourself out there as a man or a woman, you got to be in a good place to do it, and you cannot let the past get in the way of guarding you, from allowing someone else to get to know you. If you're closed off and you're guarded and you're watching, someone's every move, every word they say, it's not going to work out. I wouldn't put yourself out there, whether you're a man or a woman, until you're ready and in a good place. But I get where you're coming from. I get it. All right. So folks, we are at 46 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step away for a quick 5 to 7 or 8 minute break. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to go through this blog. It's going to probably take about 45 minutes or so when I get back. It's called Why Are Women Acting Like Men? And like I said, this is on the womenforone.com site. And the blog author is named Dana Prophet. Ironically, that's the first name of my ex. Just so happens to be. It's a very well written blog, and I'm going to be critiquing it and sharing my thoughts when I get back. But let me go ahead and let me get some music queued up here. What music do I want to play today? Give me just a second here. That's two. And just need one more. All right, folks. I'm going to step away for a 5 to 7 or 8 minute break. And like I said, when we come back, I'm going to get right to the blog. So stick around. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. like this relaxing music at times, Colin. Oh, yeah. Colin's Trivia says, nice picture. Thank you, bro. Love it. Love it. Beautiful picture. Love the purple highlights in the sky. It's just beautiful, glistening on the water there. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, shake it all about. Allow yourself to feel good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it out. Don't let anything get in the way of your success. Don't let 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or even 10 bad experiences get in the way of continuing to move forward. Shake it all about. Feel it. Yeah. Yeah. Mutt Nuts World says, welcome back. That's right. Hey, thank you, Mutt. Welcome back. Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube. Welcome. It is 7:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 4:05 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time in my neck of the woods. I'm here in the beautiful, glorious San Francisco Bay Area. There's no other place I would rather be. Home is where the heart is at, folks. Home is where the heart is at. I'm sure you agree with me on that. And again, glad you could all join me here today on this beautiful Thursday evening, or whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. What time is it in your neck of the woods out there, Colin? Curious to know. I think you're like 8 hours ahead or something like that. I cannot remember, 8 or 9 hours ahead. But anyway, so today, folks, we're discussing, ladies, what part of being feminine don't you understand? One more time, ladies, what part of being feminine don't you understand? It's kind of like a sarcastic question, but it's not really meant to be sarcastic. I come off sarcastic because whenever people come off sarcastic, you're in essence kind of saying the truth in a funny, humble way. You're trying to get your point across without, coming off rude or like you're attacking anyone. But, there's a lot of truth to it. And then the second part of the topic is masculine and feminine energy struggle. There is definitely a masculine and feminine energy struggle between men and women in the modern world, if you haven't noticed. If you're someone that's been dating women and if you're a guy that's been dating women, which is what I'm trying to say, and you're wondering, I'm a really cool dude. I'm a confident guy. I'm a decent guy. I'm not a jerk. But whenever I talk to some women, it just seems like, it just doesn't feel right for some reason. Like, the way they talk to me, they're very in your face. They're extremely straightforward, and it just feels weird. Well, yeah, in that case, you're dealing with a modern day empowered woman that is not able to balance her masculine and feminine energy, typically stemming from probably her workplace, like Evangelia was saying earlier. And so when she comes home from work or is talking with you or getting to know you or other guys, she continues to have that same attitude towards you and other men as she has at work. And ladies, I can help you better understand this and balance you out. So that way, if you really truly want to find true love, you're going to be able to find it. And if you're struggling, whether you're a man or a woman, to figure out why you can't find true love, reach out to me. I can help you. By the way, folks, if you would like to email me your situation, if you're in a current situation trying to get to know someone or dating someone, or you're married and there are some issues in your marriage, you can send me an email to Coach Eli at coacheli@melas.com. and I'd be glad to do a response to you live on the air. And if you're worried about your identity, if you're worried about, people attacking you, you can stay completely anonymous. If you even use your real email and your real name when you send me that information, I will change up the names. I will just address the story. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear what you folks are going through. I want to hear about your experiences and see how they compare to mine. And that's the way we can all better learn from each other and, move forward to actually accomplish whatever we want to accomplish, right? Queen Helen K says, smash the like button for Eli. Thank you, Queen. All right, let's get to the blog right now. Let's get to the blog. Once again, excuse me, this blog was written by a lady named Dana Prophet, Prophet, and it is on the blog site womenforone.com. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share the link of the blog in the chat right now in case you folks want to check it out. It's a great site. I highly recommend you check it out whether you're a man or a woman. Even if you're a man, you can learn a lot about what women are discussing and how they feel about things, and it will shed some light on you and give you some great perspective. But let's get right to it here. All right. This blog was written on April 27, 2014, so about 6 years ago, a little over 6 years ago. Still relevant to this day. The same stuff was already happening 6 years ago, so it's very relevant. The title is called, Why Are Women Acting Like Men? Why are women acting like men? I have the same question. Now, I know why they're acting like men, but I can still come out and say, why do you feel you need to act this way, to enjoy your life? If you continue acting, like a man, then would you rather be a man than a woman? I mean, that's a question I have to ask. No disrespect. So here we go. Since the feminist movement of the 60s and 70s, women have gained a more equal footing in the workplace and society. That's definitely true. A lot of women are still complaining that it's not equal in the workforce or we're not getting equal pay for equal work. No, you ladies are getting paid what you're worth and you're getting equal opportunities. Now, are there probably still some employers out there run by men that are chauvinistic and breaking the laws? Yes, but for the most part, it is as equal as it's ever been. And women are not only getting more opportunities nowadays than they ever did in the past, they are actually, in many cases, getting more opportunities than men. And women are getting more degrees than men nowadays as well. So women have risen up. Great, no problem, right? Although most women will say we still have a long way to go. Yeah, they're never satisfied with anything. And now women are emotional beings, so I can understand it to a certain extent. But you ladies fought for equal rights. You got them. You got equal pay for equal work. You got everything you wanted, and you're still not satisfied? Come on. I urge you to look back to your mothers and grandmothers, and you will see how far we have come as a gender. Absolutely. Oh, women have come a long way. A long way. They've come so far that now, because they've come so far, it is affecting their relationships that some of them, or many of them, want to have with men. It's also affecting men from wanting to be with women like that because women are just not the same in the ways that they were biologically meant to be, which is my opinion. Well, it's a fact, but it's my opinion too. Okay? Go to less developed countries where patriarchy still reigns with misogyny and violence against women. Well, I don't agree with that. I don't think that should have ever happened. Okay? I'm not for that. Hopefully those countries will, figure it out soon. But yeah, I get it. We in the first world have it made. Well, I guess she's calling, USA the first world. Okay. That's all good. So why do most of us think we need to act like men to get respect? So she's asking from the female perspective, why do most of us think we need to act like men to get respect? Because here's the thing. I can respect a woman that's a hardworking woman, that makes good money, takes care of herself. I can respect her in those aspects. But if she's going to act like a man and complain why she can't get another man, a masculine man, then I can't respect that. Like, if you're a woman, do you want to date a man that behaves like you, like a woman, or like you should be behaving? So if you don't want to date a feminine man or a man that behaves like a woman, then why do you feel it's okay for you to act like a man? Not only in the workforce where it's probably required, but when you're dating men or approaching men. Is it that, or do a lot of you ladies not even realize how you're coming off to men nowadays because of, this new world that we all live in, right? Food for thought, right? Okay. When we struggled for equal rights, we shouted that we are proud to be women. Right. Let me read that again. When we struggled for equal rights, we shouted that we are proud to be women, which we are capable of anything as women. Yet the first thing we did was burn our bras and start wearing pants. Yet the first thing we did was burn our bras and start wearing pants. Oh boy. That speaks for itself. Throwing away our very essence of femininity. That's what women have done. Not all women, but many, if not most. They've thrown away their very own essence of femininity. In order to make it in a man's world, we shouted at the top of our lungs that we were women. No kidding. But took on very masculine traits to prove it. Right. So in essence, you gave up your natural essence of being feminine to be able to compete in a man's world, or to be able to do things that were once only known as men would do, that still to this day are more so considered jobs that men, in my opinion, may be better qualified at. I'm not saying that women are not qualified for these jobs, but for Christ's sake, I asked my ex-girlfriend years ago. We were talking about this stuff, and I said, women want equal rights, no problem, right? I said, let me ask you this, babe. If you were offered, $200,000 a year to be the person that climbs up a utility pole to replace a down power line when it's raining and it's stormy outside, would you climb up a utility pole and do that? She goes, hell no, I would never want to do that. Babe, I'll leave that one to you. I said, babe, that's why I like you so much, because you're being honest about that, right? Now, I'm not saying that there aren't female, workers that work for power companies that, are not capable of replacing power lines. There are. But if you asked 9 out of 10 women that same question, or you put them in the same scenario, I bet you 9 out of 10 would say that they would rather have their man do it or a man do it, right? Okay. That's just one example right there. What happened to being a strong yet feminine woman? Right. No problem women being strong, being empowered, having a voice, being able to vote, being able to work, being able to do all the things that only once men were able to do. No problem. But what happened to your femininity at the same time? Where did it go? Where did it go? What happened to empowering ourselves with our womanly gifts to pave our way to the top? So in essence, what the blog author is saying is that women have had to shift their brains into masculinity mode to be able to do the things that they've wanted to do, or that they worked hard to, or that they fought for rights regarding, right? I would never give up my manhood for anything. My manhood defines me. I'm a man. I'm not saying I'm any better than women or other men, but I'm a man and I'm proud and happy to be a man. And I would never, ever try to act like I am something that I'm not. Especially, I would never try to act like a woman to try to get a job that's primarily done by women. One job is a nurse. Most nurses are female, but I do know some friends that are male nurses, right? But these men are not trying to act like women just to, be a better nurse or to qualify being a nurse. They're happy being a man. They just enjoy being a nurse. Right? No problem, right? Give me a second here. Let me check out the chat and see if anything's going on in there. Nope. Feel free to put your questions in the chat, folks. Very interactive here. Very interactive. Okay. In the workplace, women are afraid of men treating them like airheads or sexually harassing them if they dress in skirts. Well, that's pretty sad because skirts are very feminine. Skirts used to be what would separate, the men from the women. Women would wear skirts and the men would wear the pants, right? Okay. And even to this day, when you work in a professional law office, women still wear skirts there. They wear the nice professional looking skirts. And then the men wear the suits and they wear the ties and then they wear the pants. I mean, that's just the way, that's just normal, right? But if now women feel the need to wear pants so they're less sexually harassed or looked at in more respectful ways, then that's pretty sad because, why can't you, be yourself? And if somebody tries to do something to you, then just stand up for yourself, whether you're wearing a skirt or not. Why do you feel the need to wear pants in order to, feel like you have more power? An intelligent woman who enjoys wearing high heels to the office can impress others with her intellect if she chooses right. Why change your identity? Why change your biology of what you were made and meant to be when you can still be a strong and empowered woman and defend yourself if need be? Being feminine doesn't mean being weak or a target for harassment. That's right. But just because the blog author is stating this, and I really like what she wrote here, she makes a lot of sense, it doesn't mean that other people are teaching women this. What society is teaching women is the opposite of this, which is why I feel we're in this mess. It's a mess. It is a mess. No disrespect. I'm not taking anything away from women, but it's created a mess when it comes to male and female relationship dynamics outside of the workforce. That's where the issue is at. And there are issues in the workforce as well, too, but I'm not going to get into that today because that's not what I'm here to talk about. Okay. Let me see. Women have also lost the art of fully embracing our innate femininity in relationships. Right. I've been talking about that, right? This is important here. This is what has really, really bugged me. If anything has bugged me about women, it is this right here. The fact that they have equal rights and they're doing jobs that were once only known as jobs for men, none of that bothers me. What bothers me is that they're not able to turn it off when they come home and be a feminine woman to attract a masculine man. Women have also lost the art of fully embracing our innate femininity in relationships. I just read that. We don't really understand the dynamics of masculine and feminine anymore. Well, I think you understand it, and I think some women may understand it to a certain extent, but they still, haven't learned how to balance it out. I think women are using their masculine side as a self-defense mechanism to say, hey, guys, don't mess with me. I'm an empowered woman. Okay, don't even try your game on me. Don't even try to ask me out. Don't try to do anything, right? Because women have been so suppressed in the past and they've been through a lot that now they're being more proactive and shutting people out rather than just being the normal, natural, sweet women they've been in the past and just allowing whatever's natural meant to happen. If a man approaches you, and it just feels right, hey, see where it goes. You don't have to sit there and raise your guns all the time. Masculinity and femininity are complementary dynamics which together produce innate harmonious balance. Let me read that one more time. Masculinity and femininity are complementary dynamics which together produce innate harmonious balance. It's called sexual polarity. I learned that from Coach Corey Wayne. Shout out to you, Coach Corey Wayne. Okay, in order for a man and a woman to work out in a relationship, there has to be sexual polarity. One side has to be the masculine one. The other side has to be the feminine one. Okay? Typically, it would be the man being the masculine one and the woman being the feminine one. But if you have a woman that's behaving like a man and then you have a dominant alpha male like myself behaving like a man, it would not work for me to be with a woman that's behaving more masculine. The sexual polarity would be flipped. It would do nothing for me, right? You can't have, two chiefs, right? You have one chief and then the rest are Indians, right? There's only room for one chief, right? And I'm not saying that the man has to wear the pants all the time or be a jerk or anything, but there's only room for one chief. And when there are two chiefs that are fighting for the chief position between a man and a woman, the polarity is off. The sexual polarity is off. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Let me check out the chat here real quick. Let me just see how long this blog is actually. It's not that terribly long. We got probably another maybe 10 or 15 minutes here. Let's see. Okay. No comments or questions in the chat. No worries. No worries. It's all good. All right. When a woman uses her innate femininity, it instinctively puts men into their roles as masculine beings. Right. So what the blog author is saying is when a woman is acting in the natural way she was made to be, feminine, it instinctively puts men into their roles as masculine beings. Like, I'm very self-aware and I'm very intuitive. I'm 46 years old. I've learned so much that when I'm talking with a woman, if she's behaving feminine and girly and just sweet and submissive, it just really naturally allows me to be calm and be the man I was meant to be. But when she's trying to exude more masculine energy, my red flags go off automatically and I start getting annoyed inside. I start getting, it's very irritating to me, right? And at the first sign, earlier on the stream, if you missed it, check out the first part on the replay. I was sharing a story about a woman that I was talking with for the past few days that was behaving more masculine than feminine. When I first start, talking to a woman and if she comes off that way and I'm starting to get a little bit irritated, I'm not going to immediately dismiss her. But if she continues that behavior throughout the rest of the conversation, at some point, it's going to be enough. And that's going to be the end of it. Now, with a lot of the women I've been talking with lately, like last night, I wanted to end that conversation with this woman about 15 to 20 minutes into it, because I already knew that this woman is just too masculine, sounding for me and behaves too masculine for me, right? But I kept it going for another 40 minutes because now at that point I was seeking information to present on my show and to also better learn and have more data based on my experiences regarding how a lot of women are nowadays and why, they can't find true love when they say they're looking for true love. No men, another thing this woman was saying, I didn't mention at the beginning of the show, another thing this woman was saying was that at my job, I meet a lot of men and they're cute and this and that. And they come and say hi to me, but they never give me their number. They never ask me out. Sometimes I'll give them my card, but they never call me back. Well, why? Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show when I shared the story, why do you think they're not, giving you a chance? Maybe start to realize how you're coming off. Do some soul searching. Tone it down a little bit. Be a little more submissive than dominant. Stop trying to wear the pants. Stop trying to get in people's faces, right? I'm not saying this woman was extremely in my face, but she's very, very direct, which is more masculine energy than feminine energy. It's okay for a woman to be direct at times, but if she's direct 100% of the time, then she's acting more masculine than feminine. It doesn't work. So, like this part says here, when a woman uses her innate femininity, it instinctively puts men into their roles as masculine beings. If she is scared, men want to protect her. Right. That's normal. If she is scared, men want to protect her. If a man acts extremely masculine and finds his wife ravishing, she will melt into his arms. It's kind of like, put your head on my shoulder. Right? Remember that song? That old school song? The oldie? The goodie? I really love it when I'm with a woman I care for and she's going through something and she puts her head on my shoulder. It's basically telling me that I need your strength, babe. I'm going through something. I need you to be there for me and balance me out and make me feel better. And that's what I love about being a man. That's what makes a man, right? But if a woman's acting all tough all the time, like she doesn't need a man for that, then what does she need a man for? It's a fair question, right? If she gives him support and encouragement and treats him like her hero, he will automatically put her on a pedestal. Now, you never want to put any woman on a pedestal. I'll look at it as a figure of speech. I'm going to rephrase it in a different way, but I'm going to read it again first. If she gives him support and encouragement and treats him like her hero, he will automatically put her on a pedestal. What the blog author is saying in my words is, if she, encourages him, supports him in whatever he's doing, and, looks up to him for things that, he's better at than her, right? The man will be naturally attracted to her and will care about her and will want to protect her because he's very happy with her. It's not about having to put your woman on a pedestal. If you put women on a pedestal too much, or even at all, nowadays women get turned off by that. And that's typically like beta male behavior, and that's more submissive behavior, right? You can still be a good guy without putting the woman on a pedestal. And you can show her and tell her how much she means to you and appreciate her when she says good things about you. I've been with women that have told me, I'm very proud of what you're accomplishing in your life and what you're doing to help people and this and that. And I look at them and say, really, babe, that's really nice to hear. Coming from you, that means a lot. Nothing wrong with that. It's not beta. It's just being a strong man and saying, hey, look, I'm happy to be with you and I respect you and I respect, your thoughts. I'm glad you feel that way about me because I feel the same way about you. All right, perfect. We unconsciously fill these natural roles, right? We unconsciously fill these roles as long as the other person we're dealing with behaves in the way their gender is supposed to behave. If they behave the opposite way, we're repelled by that. And there's nothing wrong with this. Even homosexual relationships have a male-female balance. It is what is naturally expressed with us. I've talked about it before, and another thing I learned from Coach Corey Wayne, shout out to you again, Coach Corey Wayne, is that, even in gay and lesbian relationships, one side is more dominant and the other side is more submissive, okay? One side is the man in the relationship, the other side is the woman in the relationship, even if it's two men. It's a figure of speech saying that, in order for there to be sexual polarity, you have to have like a positive and a negative, meaning that, on a battery, the positive and the negative is what levels out the polarity. In a relationship, whether it's a gay or a straight relationship or lesbian relationship, whatever, okay, one side needs to be more the dominant one and the other side needs to be more the submissive one. Doesn't mean that, the submissive one can't be dominant at times, but primarily the other person is going to be dominant more of the time. That's just how it is. That's how sexual polarity works. You don't believe me? Try it out. If you don't believe me, start acting feminine with a woman you're dating and see how quickly she breaks up with you and questions you and turns on you, right? Just try it out and see what happens. All right. Let me scroll down here. Let me see here real quick. Queen Helen Casey in the chat says, because the men that say hi to her are probably married and they don't want the wife to find out. Well, that could be part of it, Queen. I think even for the single guys that have seen her pick up a negative vibe about her, just because she's cute and attractive and outgoing, maybe they hear her voice and her voice is very rough. And men are very smart to pick up on those things. Like, men naturally are attracted to the soft voice of a woman. A man associates a woman with a soft voice, not a rough tone of voice. Okay? Rough tone of voices or more masculine sounding tone of voices are typically what identify men, not women. So that's what's happening as well. But yeah, in some cases it could be that, Queen, but even the single men. I'm a single man. Right? And this woman, she's got a good job, has her own home, she's got a degree, makes, good money. She's attractive. She's got all the qualities. She looks good on paper, but her attitude sucks. The way her outlook on men and her outlook on how she behaves within herself is terrible to me. It's a turnoff. It's a turnoff. You have all heard of the book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, or as I like to say, men are from Mars, women are from heaven. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll be a nice guy. I'll give you that. We are biologically different. No shit. We are biologically different. I wish this chick I was talking to last night would understand that. We are biologically different. We are emotionally different, right? Women are going to be more emotional than men. Women are naturally emotional all day, every day. Women respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment, and they reason with logic afterwards. Men, strong men that are not feminized men, are going to look at everything logically first, like I did with this woman, and then if it makes sense and it works, then we will let some emotion out. Men are not emotionless, but the way we were made was to be more logical first. Men are action, women are reaction. That's right. Because women are emotional all day, every day. That's how they biologically were made to be. Men are action, right? Logical, action. Women are reaction, emotional, right? Don't argue biology. Biology is biology. That's how we were made to be. I'm not saying anything besides the way that men and women were made to be. By a higher power, I believe to be God. I'm not going to project it onto you. You have your own beliefs out there. Some of you may believe in God. But biologically, this is how we were made to be. Men think with their head. Women with their hearts. Right? Men think with their head. Women with their heart. That doesn't mean women are stupid. They're not. Women are very smart. It's just that women are reactionary emotionally and men think logically first. It doesn't mean that men don't have emotions. We do. It doesn't mean women cannot think logically. They can. We're just talking about the first point of reaction for a man is always going to be logical as long as you're a strong masculine man, not a feminized man. And for a woman, it's going to be emotional. That is biology. You can't argue biology. That's how we were made to be. Why can't we use those strengths to complement each other or complement the other? Yeah, my ex was great at balancing me out, and I was great at balancing her out. I will tell you, when I was with her, I was way more balanced than I am now. I'm not saying I'm not balanced right now. I'm as balanced as I could be or as I can be without having a woman in my life. But when I'm with a good woman that really cares about me genuinely, she balances me out completely. Men and women were meant to be together. But if she was a masculine type of woman and behaving more masculine, it wouldn't do anything for me. It wouldn't balance me out. It would annoy the shit out of me. So why can't we use those strengths to complement the other rather than taking on opposite gender traits to appease the current collective norms of what men and women are in today's age? Well, let me repeat that one more time. Why can't we use those strengths to complement the other rather than taking on opposite gender traits to appease the current collective norms of what men and women are in today's age? Well, the lady that wrote this, Dana, okay, man, you wrote that in a very, very professional way. All women are a product of feminism, including you. I'm not saying you're a radical feminist or anything. All women are feminists to a certain degree, and that's normal. And then you have the radical feminists. I'm not saying this woman's a radical feminist. She's not. Doesn't sound like it. But you can thank feminism for that last line that you just wrote there. You know? Why can't we use the strengths to complement each other rather than taking on opposite gender traits to appease the current collective, to appease the society stigma, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. To appease society's agenda, to appease the agenda of the radical feminists, that's where I feel the real issue's at, in my opinion. Even the radical feminists, there are fewer radical feminists than actual, feminists. The radical feminists are the ones that are affecting the majority of the women, or of the women that really just want to balance out their life and work, but also have a relationship. The radical feminists are affecting that a lot, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. All right. Let me see here real quick. Let me see how much longer we have left here. Oh, we're almost done. When you act like a woman, men around you will automatically shift into masculinity around you and vice versa. If a woman is acting like a man, perhaps by acting aggressively with her partner during a dispute, or even while getting to know someone for the first time, like the chick I was talking with last night, then the one before that a few weeks ago, and then the one before that a few weeks before that. Same damn thing, just different woman, right? So if a woman is acting like a man, perhaps by acting aggressively with her partner during a dispute, he will treat her like a man and fight back or withdraw. Right. So if you're going to come to me as my woman and start acting like a man and treating me like a man, I'm going to treat you the same way. I'm going to treat you like a man. Now, I'm not going to hit you or anything. I'm not like that. But I'm just going to tell you that, hey, you're out of line. And you know what? This is not, what I signed up for. Well, what do you mean? You're being really aggressive with me. It's like I've done nothing wrong to you. And a strong alpha male is not going to put up with that, right? So when a woman's behaving that way, guys will say, put her in her place. And it's not a derogatory thing. Putting her in her place is a polite, it could be derogatory, but it's a way of saying, look, you're acting up, you're behaving like a man, you're coming at me for no reason. I'm going to stand up for myself and say, I'm not going to put up with this. If you don't change your attitude, I'm going to walk out, right? Have some balls. And guess what? If she really cares about you, she'll change that attitude quick. If not, you're out. Just leave, right? If a man gets too feminine, a woman will respond with sensitivity and comfort. Well, initially, until she starts losing respect for him and stops trusting his masculine core, and then eventually, lines up a replacement. And once that replacement pans out, she'll leave the guy. So if a man gets too feminine, a woman will respond with sensitivity and comfort. Woman to woman. Neither scenario creates the balance and momentum needed to propel the relationship out of problem at hand. But a feminine energy meeting a masculine energy equally in the middle of a situation can bring results that everyone is satisfied with. Yeah, that's great polarity right there. That's great sexual polarity. But a feminine energy meeting a masculine energy equally in the middle of a situation can bring results that everyone's satisfied with. I respect you for the woman you are, strong, sensitive, smart, and accomplished woman you are, and you respect me for the smart, strong, successful, and great leader of a man that I am. We respect each other for who we are, and we're happy together. And we work on everything equally together. Sometimes your ideas are going to be better than mine. Sometimes mine will be better than yours. But if I can't respect you as a feminine woman and you can't respect me as a masculine man, then there's nothing there. There's no sexual polarity. It's not going to work out. I ask women to bring your feminine nature to the table. Stop trying to aggressively fight your way through life. Use your unique gifts such as intuition, insight, and intelligence. Yeah, women are very intuitive. They have great insight and intelligence. They do. Excuse me. And don't forget the winning smile and your charming demeanor you possess. Women's intuition, I moved forward too quickly. Women's intuition is amazing. Now, I'm fortunate as a man to have great intuition. And some men have great intuition. Most men don't. It's not a natural biological characteristic of a man. It's typically more of a female characteristic. So that's something that a woman could bring to any man, especially since most men are not intuitive. Now, for an intuitive man like myself, that's a bonus to a woman because I'm that intuitive, I can pick up on anything. But at the same time, women that play games, that want to play a game on you, take advantage of you, when they pick up on the fact that you're one of the few intuitive men, they'll eliminate you because they know that you're smart enough and intuitive enough to figure out their games. So they're going to go play their game on someone else that it will work on because it won't work on you. Anyway. Put on the heels if it makes you feel gorgeous. Flirt with your partner. Yeah, I love when women flirt. I love it. My ex used to come up to me and say, hey, babe, you want to make out? And out of the blue, like out of nowhere. I'm like, yeah. Right now? In the car before we get back home? Yeah. All right, shit. Let's go. and that's great, right? It makes you feel appreciated. It makes you feel wanted. It makes you feel attractive, and she's still attracted to you when she approaches you that way. And you tell her the same thing. Tell her how beautiful she is every now and then. You have to do it all the time. Don't wear it out. You say things too much nowadays, it doesn't mean as much. But you say it every so often. And you say it enough every so often to where she still feels that way, but you don't say it too much to the point of where it loses its meaning and it gets old and boring. Right? Wear more jewelry. Do all you can to feel like an empowered and delightful woman. That's pretty cut and dry, plain and simple. Right. Right. All right. Give me 1 second here. This is the last paragraph. But wait, you say, I am a woman and don't need to wear skirts to feel like it. I can protect myself and be financially well. Fantastic, I say. Are you accomplishing all of this as a man or a woman? One more time. Are you accomplishing all of this as a man or a woman? This is the blog author, who's a woman, asking another woman this question. A lot of respect for this blog author. Because you can accomplish what you want either way. Well, the only thing you're not going to accomplish, if you go the route of behaving more masculine as a woman than feminine, is you're not going to have that relationship with someone that you want. And if you do get into a relationship being a masculine, more dominant type of woman, relationship-wise, you're going to attract a feminized man or a beta male. And that may suit your needs for a short while, but eventually you're going to get tired of that too. You're not going to be able to respect or trust that guy or feel comfortable around him. Just try it out. Try it out. If you're a strong woman and you haven't been able to, get a date for a while because, you're wondering why men won't give you a chance, give a beta male a chance and see what happens. They'll cater to all your wants and needs. They'll do everything you tell them to do. But then you're going to get tired of that because that's not what you really want. You think you want to wear the pants, but you really don't. You really don't. That's the thing. The blog author here is saying the same exact thing, and I'd say a little more professional. I'm just a little bit more blunt, so people can understand where I'm coming from. But there is something rewarding and nourishing about embracing the divine feminine. That's what I embrace. I embrace the divine feminine. What I like about women is their femininity. I do not like any masculine aspects about a woman. Why would I? I'm a straight male. I love women. I love a woman's body. I love a woman's brain. I love a woman's nurturing aspects. I love a natural or a naturally feminine woman. And I hope one day you will be able to. Yeah, like that chick I was talking to last night. She's 36. She's still young enough to, figure it out. But I don't know. Some women may figure it out at some point, and some women will never figure it out. And if they don't figure it out at some point and understand how this modern world of dating works, they're going to be lonely, sad, and miserable for the rest of their life. It's not going to be me. I'm going to keep moving forward until I find a woman that does understand this and is a feminine woman. One more time, and I hope one day you will be able to, even just a little, because everyone should feel like a princess sometimes. Sure, nothing wrong with a woman feeling like a princess every now and then. Okay, but if you're the kind of woman that feels the need to be a princess all the time, that's entitlement, and I won't put up with that either, and neither should you. And there's the blog author, Dana Prophet. Here's about the author here. Let me just read this real quick. About the author, Dana Prophet. Dana is the frequent truth teller. She has many inspiring lessons to share with our community, and she teaches us what it means to feel strong, feminine, and empowered. And she's pretty cute, too. She's probably married. But, wow, great blog, Dana. Great blog. Same name as my last girlfriend's name, my ex. It's pretty cool. Just coincidental, right? All right. Let me switch back to full screen and check out the chat one last time. And if there's nothing going on, I'm going to get on out of here and enjoy the rest of the night. I mean, I enjoy these streams too. But I also have been trying to rest a little bit more lately so that way I can recover quicker from my pinched nerve. And anyone out there that thinks my pinched nerve is not real or anything, I could care less. I do have a pinched nerve, and yes, it has affected me. And do you think that I would want to give up, half of my summer recovering from this when I'd rather be out there hiking and doing my walks and all of that? I honestly, actually have a pinched nerve, and yeah, it's been affecting me for the last, I'd say, almost month and a half. But like I mentioned, I believe at the beginning of the show, feeling a lot better. I'm like 80% recovered. I think another week or two, and I'll be good to go. I can even clap my hands a lot more. I'm less tingly in the hands, less tingly in the feet. And like I said, within a week or two, I should be back to normal. All right. Looks like there's nothing else happening in the chat. With that being said, I want to thank everyone for being here today. Thank you to Queen Helen Casey. Thank you to Collins Trivia for being here. Thank you to Mutt Nuts World for being here. Thank you to Stephanie Ellis, or aka Super Steph. Thank you to Evangelia Minsai. I can't pronounce your name. You're my Greek buddy. And anyone else that was here in the chat or watching quietly behind the scenes. Lots of love from Coach Eli, and best of luck to you regarding any of your endeavors when it comes to dating. Folks, it is a bloodbath out there when it comes to dating, figuratively speaking, that is. Okay? But look, if you truly want to find true love and happiness, don't let any of these types of people you may or more than likely will encounter get in the way from moving forward until you find that right person. You know, you may go through 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 types of people that I mentioned within the stream. But it is that 21st time that you try again, instead of giving up at that point, where it'll make all the difference. Keep moving forward and you will accomplish anything that your heart desires. If you have any questions, reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you out. That being said, have yourselves a great, great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. We're out. We're out. Peace. Peace out. We're out. We are out. Out. Dinner time.